Hi, welcome to Bonano TV. My name is John Skasonso, and I'm glad to be here on the show to dissect Father Salangeta's 52-second video clip that is trending in Zambia this week. A lot of people have chimed in, and it seems to raise a firestorm. So we went ahead and took a bite on trending news and events analysis. So on this show, we just pick up the trends and the news and the events, and then we come and give our opinion, or we come and give our take on the issue. So that's what is going to happen. If you are there, I am putting in. I'm putting in the link to the show. You can come up and join me. You can come up and join me if you want to appear with me in this broadcast. I'll see you in the background, and then I'll invite you to participate. Otherwise, I am ready to shoot. And the main theme of the video clip borders on agriculture, mealy meal, and eating, and things like that. So I want you to invite your friends and have people come on the show, or just watch this show. So I will put on the song called Kuilamba whilst I wait for you to invite more people to come and watch this show with me and our usually brilliant analysis, so excellent analysis. So we basically are going to dissect Father Salangeta's 52-second video clip. I have it here in the studio. We're going to listen to it, and then we are going to comment on it. We are going to both be fair and firm. So in the meantime, I want you to enjoy this song about, us working hard and taking care of ourselves, called Kuilamba Ekwesu.
Kuilamba ekwesu nakubulifu, kuilamba ekwesu nakubulifu, kuilamba ekwesu nakubulifu, kuilamba ekwesu nakubulifu. Alesa nifu, mandureni nifu, bamatiya nifu, batibola nifu, bankana nifu, bakalilele nifu, bamushiri nifu, shonseshi nifu. Kuilamba ekwesu nakubulifu. Weba byanzi ipindi ya mika ya kuliku, weba byanzi ipindi ya mika ya kuliku. Ababyesu muzabya, kose bayishweke, nomba kweba chindo, ichitupambishe. Vikatane bose, kuno kwesu kuilamba, kuilamba ekwesu nakubulifu. Ukawe tata, ukawe mayo, ukawe nkwasu, ukawe nkashirani, ukulima kuweme, mwana moluwa, ipindi nomba ya Afrika, kwende kwesu kukulima, kuilamba ekwesu nakubulifu. Nomandi kwite, shani bonaka umi. Nomandi kwite, shani bonaka umi. Shani po manchacha, shani nebankana. Shani po shonongo, shani nebandure. Shani po akaonge, shani nebamushiri. Kuilamba ekwesu nakubulifu. Shani po manchacha, shani nebamachiri. Shani po shonongo, shani nebakalile. Kuilamba ekwesu nakubulifu. Kuilamba ekwesu nakubulifu. Wilamba ekwesu nabakuli. Wilamba ekwesu nabakuli. Kurula. Tutakayenda. Susa. 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 Susa matamu. Wata musela. Kama susa matamu. Wata musela. Kutamukwe. Kone panikobo. Kutamukwe. Katikone pampato. Kutamukwe. Katikone panikobo. Susa. 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 Susa.
Well, thank you, Molemena Boys, for Kuilamba Ekwesu. It's a beautiful piece, and it's about agriculture and finding development through productivity and things like that. But I think that is the undertone to today's show. And to give it a fair break and to give it a fair analysis, I am going to bring on this. I tried to replicate it twice so that you can hear it properly. It's a quip from Father Salangeta. It's a 52-second video clip or video quip, whatever you choose to call it, that is trending in Zambia this week. And we thought that we should give it a fair analysis and dissect it. So I want you to listen to it. Then I will come back and begin dissecting it. It's just 52 seconds multiplied by 2. Okay. So, let's see. Let me get it.
GDP. Millennium development goals, Zambia will reach sub-charge. Zambia reaching a Masapuyang. Narumba ma graph. Kwa misi graph, kwa misi ruto shiro amaye. Kwa misi kutiafu, kwa jack, ruto shiro amaye. Ulipate mwarelu. Kwisa parish, not wo graph. No. Hata ukwete wali ubunga Mzambia tapale vyo yai so mulawewa kawabi ifota kwa ishimana fida balanda GDP wale rimba na magrafu Millennium development goals, Zambia will reach sub-charge. Zambia reaching a Masapuyang. Narumba ma graph. Kwa misi graph, kwa misi ruto shiro amaye. Kwa misi kutiafu, kwa jack, ruto shiro amaye. Ulipate mwarelu. Kwisa parish, not wo graph. No. Hata ukwete wali ubunga Mzambia. Tapa
Hi. So that is the clip that is in some places even caused headaches and reactions, and some places there are celebrations on that. So I don't know who Father Salangeta is. This is the first encounter to see him chime into the affairs of the nation. And a lot of analysts have said a lot of things, and I want also to have our perspective on record. There are three pros and there are three cons of that clip. So I'll go through them, and you're welcome to respond to them as I talk about this issue. Um, yeah, in my opinion, the first thing that I see about that video clip, the first thing that I see about that video clip is the person of the speaker. In my estimation, no matter how you try to dissect it, the father who was speaking in that video clip, I see him as a high impact person. I see him as a high impact person. You can tell this given the amount of attention he has grabbed from both the government and the opposition people. So, just at face value, you can see that this is a guy who is a high impact person. This is a guy who is a high impact person given the amount he has generated. That is a positive. That means he has at least had the capacity to be heard by his countrymen and the officials. The second thing I want to say about that video is not only that Father Salangeta is a person of high impact. Um, I also see the second thing. The second thing is that he is a citizen like any other person. Father Salangeta is a citizen like any other person. And for this reason, he has a right to speak about his country and his feelings, whether they are right or wrong. He has a right to speak about the affairs of his country, whether he is right or wrong, because he's a citizen. And it's also my feeling that priesthood should not be an issue here. He is entitled to the freedom of the press like any other person. The Constitution of the Republic of Zambia does not exclude priests from having rights to speak about the affairs of the country. So it is my feeling that he has a right to be heard on matters of his country, and his job does not exclude him from that right, at least not in the Constitution. Therefore, it is illegal to discriminate freedom of the press against the priest because of their job. In fact, I believe it's unconstitutional. I am not an attorney, but I know sufficient stuff about the Constitution of Zambia. There's nowhere where the Constitution excludes the priesthood from commenting on the affairs of their country. So these voices that have gone around, say he's a man of the cloth, he shouldn't be partisan, he can't speak like that, and all those kind of things. We hear on Bonano TV, we think that is incorrect, and therefore we trash that point of view. Yeah, so the priest, as a citizen, he is a citizen like any other human being, and he has a right to speak about the affairs of the country. He has a right to speak about the affairs of the country. Yeah, so I see here uh, um, Brighton Hamusunde says they is following. Welcome, Mr. Hamusunde, and I am excited that you are seeing this show. Who else do I need to welcome around here? I'll come back to the welcomes. Yeah, basically, I have made two important points so far. We're saying that he is a high impact person, given the amount of attention he has grabbed to just a 52-second quip. Yeah, yeah. So, and secondly, we reckon that he's a citizen like any other. Therefore, he has a right to speak about his country, whether his ideas are wrong or right. So, those are the two pros. And let me cast here the the third pro that I see about that video, the third pro that I see about that video, um, the third pro that I see about that video is concerning the delivery. The delivery of his quip was done in Ichwemba, what we call the Bemba political rhetoric. And I grew up in a Bemba speaking area. My mother is from there, and I know a lot more about that. And sometimes I also have capacity to deliver those. Yeah, but um what do I make of that? I think that the father's delivery was exceptional. The caption is only 52 seconds, but he sent the nation into a frenzy and typical of Bemba political rhetoric, you know. So it's impressive in that sense that the delivery of Justice Point, even his audience was laughing and having a good time just listening to him. He's clearly a joy to listen to by those who love him or those who respect him. Yeah. So I think that he is a person of high impact. He's a citizen like any other. He can comment on any political issue regardless of his job. And his delivery was exceptional. His delivery was exceptional. I have a question here that I think I should respond to immediately. Um, Mr. Hamson says, what do you make of HH's response to the priest? First of all, I am a strong supporter of HH, and HH is a politician. To the extent that his response was answering in a political sense, I think also we can dissect that. But I think that HH is a politician. As a president, he's able to respond to what he considers political in his atmosphere. So also HH is within his rights to respond as a politician. That is why when we make quips and attack others, the thing what we can't do is to go and hide. You know, I am a priest. I was just commenting the president should not talk about me. No, even the president is within his rights to respond. Yeah, maybe at a later point we can discuss what we make of HH's response. But HH's response was a political one because that statement was casting aspersions on his work. The person being described by the father is HH. So HH was within his rights also to respond. My president was within his rights to respond. Whether his response was good enough, I also think that the content of the father was taken a little bit in a political sense. So HH's response was very political, and most of it was responded to in a political sense. And that is fair game because to be a president of Zambia, you have to be a politician, you know. So he responded as a politician, and his response was politically astute, and that's what I think about that. I do also have Ushi Chipego Wilkins as well commenting on this issue. Let me show what Chipego is saying. Chipego is saying I totally agree with the pros so far. Yes, I think at least I have one customer. Thank you, Chipeo. The priest in his quip, it is a person of high impact given the amount of attention that we've received. And he is a citizen like any other. He has a right to comment on his country. And people shouldn't bully him or even frown upon his job. Priests do an awful lot of good, and the Constitution of Zambia does not exclude the priest from commenting on the affairs of his country. And then the delivery was exceptional, perhaps more than anything, you know. Kala ka rhetoric, ka political rhetoric, ka kuluvemba, kali landing of unopama tuina bantu baseka. Yes. So now we are still going. Another person, what's they saying here before I proceed? Another person is kind of big volume write up says the right he has for sure, but also remember that the concern was where he spoke about it. The church brings different people to fellowship on accord regarding of their regardless of the political affiliation. Church is church, and it should remain a place of worship. Yeah. So you know, this point of view is what I am not approving. Wamunyima. Church talks about the affairs of the people. sometimes even the affairs of the country. The reason why the prophet Jeremiah was even thrown in a pit is because he was commenting on the political affairs of his country. That's part of church. Yeah. So church is not about, he wasn't mentioning political parties. He was giving an opinion, and his opinion can be pro government or anti government. That is okay. That's what we're saying. So church is not the way you take it in a religious sense. Jesus was addressing political leaders, and Jesus is the owner of the church. And I am not happy, particularly as one of the sons of Nevas Mumba, how the country has treated Nevas because he made a transition to even do politics. I felt he's quitting the ministry. But who has stayed longer in ministry than any preacher we know in Zambia? So the clergy should be given a leeway to speak politics regardless of where they're standing. That is the position I've given there. It's a con. So it's a pro. So Baba Munyima, iyo iyakumukanya father ilala ndafira kuchechi awe. Iyo naikana. There, you and me, we have to work together here on Bonano TV as a regular viewer and friend. But let's also agree to disagree. The priest was within his rights, regardless of where he was. So let's see another one who is commenting on this same issue. Another one who is commenting on this issue is Hanzala. Hanzala. Wonderful. I like the way you put it. That is the truth, as put it, sir. Yes, we must be able to live with the truth. We can't pretend regardless of who we support in our politics. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then, we also have to be a honest society. Hanzala says that we can talk about this honestly. The father was wrong. On that, I am happy that the president responded from the question. So, ukulanda pali freedom of the press mwebena Zambia. It doesn't mean you only have to say what is right. Ni dictatorship iyo. Icho chifiro okuchita kutoba mafunde kwatera amashiro ayesa pa social media eretoba mafunde ati bali chita opposition politics. No, bali bafire babeka tababika na makoli. Yeah, but father, he expressed an opinion. Now, we've only talked about the pros. And I thank you, my friends, here for participating. I have a link. I have a link to this show. You can also join in. If you scroll up, you will find it. You can appear. You can bring your beautiful face here and your wonderful Zambian English, which I so love very much. And when I come here, I want to even speak a little bit more. Yeah. So anyway, now what are the cons? There are several concerning issues with the message, the message that the father put across. And we should not shy away in as much as we appreciate his liberties and his delivery, in as much as we appreciate the influence of his smoke whip. We also must be willing to say the truth to the face of our father, which art in the parish. Yeah. So there's several concerning issues with the message of the priest. And I also summarize them in three. The first set of problems relates to the context. I've put them. I put them in the. I put them in the. I always like to summarize my points with a letter. So I put them the cons because they are cons. I put them with a letter C, and I have put at least across three of them. And the first one is the one I'm about to post right now. Is the context. Is the context. Is the context of the message. Now, before I explicate that, let me try and repost the link. Repost the link for some of my colleagues. They want to come on and participate, but they can't see the link to the show. The link, let me also go here. Where am I going to get the link again? I can see the link here. Okay, let me try to draw the link into the system. So if you want to show up and talk to me, I can gladly welcome you. Yeah. Copy link. And then where are my friends? Okay. I think that's the link. No, it's not the one. No, 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 no. Just give me a second. Let me copy the link here. No, 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 no. Link. Where is the link? Here again. Let's go and get the link. Link. The link. The link. Okay. Where is the link? Okay. It's taking me somewhere else. Okay. Copy link address. No, I'm not trying to copy the link address. Copy image address. I just want to copy it. I don't want to copy its link, but it's giving me to copy the link. Okay. Let me use a shortcut here. Copy. Okay, I'm back. I am still here. I'm trying to bring the link to the show. Yep, I put it there. So if you want to come and show up, you can come. We chat face to face. Yeah. So now I'm addressing the cons here. The cons really more on the downside of the content. Then the first thing I've put up the link there. Yeah. So the first of the first of the cons is the context. Yeah, DK, I can't see you connect. I can see you in the background of the studio, but it says device not connected. So connect, and then we can bring you on. That's DK. I've seen you. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, the context about where he was. It's about where he was when he spoke, and who he is addressing. Because those two things can help us relate to the message. If this is a priest who is located in a rural compound where people don't speak English and stuff like that, and then he has the savior syndrome where he thinks he speaks for them, and clearly the people who were speaking to were enjoying what he was saying. The context is that he spoke in church and he was addressing his congregants. Although Father spoke in church, he was not speaking for the church. So people who are trying to make this a Catholic Church issue, they couldn't be more wrong because he never even stated he was speaking for the Catholic Church. I am sure he doesn't even have standing to speak for the Catholic Church. It's just a quip added to his ministration for the day. So although the father spoke in church, he was not speaking for the church. He was speaking to the congregants and he wasn't speaking on behalf of all Catholics in Zambia. So don't make this about Catholics, no. Therefore, we can say, we can't say Bakatolika n'abafulwasana against the government. No, no, no. There are many Catholics who are very happy with the government. In fact, Vakatolika bene just a few months ago are the ones who voted en masse for this new government. So who take over Vakatolika over kwa church? So this is not a Catholic versus a UPND issue or NDG issue. No, it is one individual in the Catholic Church during his ministry time who puts across his opinion. So the first con is because of where he was speaking, he is bound to be understood as if he was speaking for the entire Catholic Church. But we know who speaks for the Catholic Church. They have a leadership hierarchy, and he's very far from that hierarchy. So the first problem is that because of where he was speaking from, he gave a wrong impression as if he's speaking for the Catholic Church. And I'll comment on that. So the first con is not just who he was, where he was speaking. Bakatolika, ebe ne babuteeko n'obu nga tabavotere bakapotolika nga tabavotere bubuteeko n'okuba nga tetibabepo because bakatolika bengi and baba for the whole country. So Father Dalela Njako Bakatolika. So if you are to start drag the whole church into just a 52-minute clip lekeni ifyo upumbu twakanya pano pa Bonano TV lekeni ifyo Dalela Njako Bakatolika. That's the first problem, is bound to represent as if he's speaking for the Catholic Church. So I have a response here. If you want to join in and get in on the show with me here, the link is there. Let me put on this guy's comment. He says, just impatila at Catholica. Valolioko. Ah, we no, don't insult the Catholics. Vakatolika vena Kristu. Navengi muzambia vengi vasambira maskuli ya vakatolika ya luto. Lero muse mutuke vakatolika. Alai. Uh, then this guy says, I am a Seventh-day Adventist member. We believe in love in church. We can be thousands of people, including political members from different parts. So we should not divide members because of who visited our church. Just an observation. Why is it always the former president goes to any church, something will come out? It's just the nature of our bankrupt politics. So Muisakamanefio, nga vachinene va indiana valanda pona vena navesa va indiana mwango asa minwe okumona fye ishitasila kanishina valungu mo vari muntu wanikana okay awe limbiri vali twaliko na kamutulo kupokoka kufunya twatu ntuma chenji twasharapo tuvale fukatila kuponisha valeteka. So the first problem with the Father Salangeta's issue is the context in which he spoke. The message was bound to be understood and give him who spokesman wava Katolika wota kwata. Yeah. So then the second point on the cons, the second point of the cons is the big one, the content. Part of the stigma or part of the confusion that we have is the content of the message. There are several problems with the content. First, we have to be honest that in what the Father said, just based on substance, there was zero wisdom. Let's send this message to him and his hearers. First of all, there was zero wisdom in what the Father said. And even he himself, he stated that he was ignorant about the subject matter. Now, if in the first sentence you say that then you are giving in a talk based on what you don't know. You are trying to share ignorance. It's like because ignorance so the first problem, the content issue you ever fell and ever father tamwali amano because nabe never land yatife balenda potaba fishiba and truly nefe balande twala mona bapanja patamwali balanda taba fishiba. So he was ignorant about the subject matter. He said that what fishiba. Now that alone means the man of God was not bringing out divine revelation. But speaking his frustrations based on Ubututu. The Father was speaking, not the revelation of God, but the frustration based on Ubututu, because he stated Yumuina Tafishiva. Eronombalandapo. Ngawalanda pafio shishive, ni shule fuisa fyo Ubututu, weka. You are just bringing out ignorance. You are speaking about things you don't know. And that is the first sign of lacking wisdom. It is concerning that the priest stands up to speak in a church and he speaks without wisdom. And he even states it himself right there. So it's kind of a mockery of his audience. Yeah. Now, we have seen, especially the helpless opposition, glorifying this innocent man who spoke in earnest out of Ubututu. He spoke out of ignorance. He spoke about Tifata Ishiva. But Bamwalusha ni hero. Ali landilio mwine father. Helpless opposition Bamwalusha hero. Takwa buku ba hero ngana kwa Ubututu wawe. Ubututu tentu anikante wisdom yako tuchite mo guide abantu tuchite na understand if kofile tafishi befialela ndapoli omuntu wakwalesa. So it is therefore very cruel of the opposition to try and turn that guy into a hero. We have seen the helpless opposition glorifying an innocent man who spoke in earnest out of ubututu. If you're taishive, if you're GDP, if you're stuff yaishive, ngamuna graph akwata no musamfu. Bamukatana pamwina temperature 9 mtu alikuchipatala ala tina magraph mulandu wa bututu. He did not speak as an expert. He made it very clear. So to take a person who didn't speak as an expert, Alanda issue with Yamutu, it can be funny, you can laugh, but to turn him into a hero is a mockery. So the content was not based on his expertise. He spoke out of ignorance. Yeah. So that is my point. My point number 2 on the cons. Yeah. So now, number 3. I summarize them into three pros and cons. So number 3, the cons is what we call in research the conjecture. The conjecture. Now, what is the conjecture? The conjecture is the proposition. It's the substance of what the person is speaking as the way forward. Yeah. So now we have established that the context was inappropriate. We have also established that the content was that of an ignorant person who doesn't know what he is talking about. He didn't speak as an expert. Now, the conjecture also is affected by those 2 factors. So the conjecture here, clearly, in his confusion and Ubututu, the father proposed that the president's basic background for explaining the long-term trajectory in the management of the country should be substituted for taking Utusaka Twabunga kwa Misisi. This was very, very unfortunate at different levels. Very unfortunate at different levels. It seems to me that father ale landa pakoba Utusaka Twabunga etu abantu bafuire bachitapo focus on nobuteko bufuire watu wala Utusaka Twabunga. And that is very unfortunate because ubobunga ale landa po bufuma kumataba. Mule mfumo bena Zambia. Ubunga ale landa po father isaka lya bunga landa po bufuma kumataba. Ero amataba yafuma ku bulimi. Ubulimi is part of the aggregate productivity ya country. Iya wa included muri GDP. Fyafine president yalelanda pa magraph nishina mufisa nkanya fyonse fyo muchita produce including amataba yafuma mu bunga. So if yalelanda po fyakwe bati saka lya bunga licha substitute paragraph, it is just a proof that umuntu chalelanda po taishibe mwe bantu. The president's background explained the long-term trajectory of the country's management. And the other reason why I consider that talk, the very talk, to be kind of very sad. Abapatiri, ifo twale sambira kuma skulu ya kumushiro ko twatampire skulu kusanfi. Twale imbati abanensu kufyalo fimbi. Bala itwala pantanji. Pantu insala nindi minwa tempulirwa yo. A message father afuira le twala mu misisi mu compound. Noti atubuteko bufire wa poso tusaka twabunga kulya. Urusaka twabunga tatumonekanga tamulimine insala nindi minwa tempulirwa yo. I know from the priesthood kasaka kalapona na baleta kwat mutulo. No, the average family doesn't live like that. Insala nindi minwa tempulirwa yo. Nindi minwa ba father insala efe mulefunda abantu. Encourage those people bale ya mukulima ubuteko bwalilanda this year kwebati ama inputs yakaba there on time isent to push ensala tebuteko kwisa milimina bwamigai shovun no kwisa miposela tefyo chabe efyo awe tefyo chabe efyo. It's almost 33 to 34 years when abena Zambia bapokerepo bunga bwalu tokufunyama kuponi ukufuma pala peno close to 33 years ama families abena Zambia yala yisha bala bomba bayashto bunga, you know. Notukulabe pa abantu kwe bati nchito yabuteko kwe yaponyo tusaka twabungo twaluto isaka lyabunga te mana isaka lyabunga lifuma kumataba amataba mfire mu alima ubuliminga mwabubika pamo nefyo mucha produce fyonse GDP lya ineba fada insala nindi minwa tempulirwa yo. Graph ya kwakateka actually contains an explanation of the country's ability to create tusaka twabunga. Ubulimi is part of the aggregate productivity achalo called GDP. mwiratsa spread ubutoto mwemperwa mano imwe ikuteke echalo chino nchikupano samba lya chalo mano ero te mano yachifyalilwa no mano yakusukulu ninsamushi Father spoke from the populist shortcut worldview of free meal kwati nifilia yale pona mana kufuma kumulu kubana ba Israel mumpanga free bags of meal bought from stolen money or free offerings umutulo. That is the mentality we just removed from the government. Iyo mentality tuletere mukupaka mishabantu balelima or in my father's language bale imajala lesau pawi imajala ba father ubunga tabupono bwaluto lesau pawi imajala lesau pawi imajala. Yes. Yeah. So if you're tackling now, let's close the show with a few recommendations. I'll summarize my points, but let's close the show with a few recommendations. Now, the first recommendation I'll make is to the opposition. Please have mercy of Umunenu Father Salangeta. Don't make a hero out of a man speaking out of ignorance. That's being callous and mean. Opposition, mwila haba mean. Mule mutana spread na pama page yenu. Wutu wakwa father. Mule museva nyomu nenu. Don't be mean like that. That guy spoke out of ignorance and even acknowledged it. The second recommendation is father. Father ale funda etinsala nindi minwa. Tempulirwa yo. Please stop being lazy na iwe in father. The Catholic Church have Jesuits who understand matters of the economy. Fima GDP for wale ilisha nyapo, cost of living food basket. Awacha present kanshi awacha calculate from teba Catholic. You know, stop being lazy. You could have picked up a phone call. You are just a lazy guy. You are just being lazy. You could have simply picked up a call within the mother church and they could have explained the basic graphs to you. It is the most basic graphs of all graphs. Naba ichaba lepo ka free education. Nobody need a graph kuti ba drawing. Ngana kaya pamuluka wanu nika bar graph kapona. Ka wanu ngana kapona panch mokaleta panch. It's the simplest of bar graphs. It's actually laziness on your part. If you can read the scriptures, elo leka no kulenga ile GDP, unangani ugo mambala. Stop being lazy, father. That is the basic graph. Naba na grade 7 ba di bar graph. Polo mukala mbole funda na bantu chao chao ule funda. Finally, government officials and other surrogates should not take this as a bet of giving the appearance that they are in a political fight with the Catholic Church. That hapless priest was not speaking on behalf of the Catholic Church. He was speaking on behalf of his ignorance. Aleno bangu for much to respond because na push and manala pela summary. My recommendations na the opposition should have mercy on the Umunenu father. He don't try to make him a hero for speaking with ignorance or in ignorance. That's callous and being mean. Two, father aleke obunangani ngali tumina ma Jesuits fi economy bali fission fima biography yanga bali mulondo lwela ale chitafi obunangani ale fa vyakasaka kabunga kapone kwa lutu and if ale funda na mcheche kwa Mississippi watu wali obunga bwa lutu insala nindi mino. And then three, government officials should and their surrogates should not take the bait of giving an appearance that they are in a political fight with the Catholic Church. Aba vikire po uteko ni Catholic. Uteko wa Catholic. Nolupolo wa mababa ni Catholic. Na makolona tradition fya kupepera pali kolona batefuta bakatolika tupepa kona ifo fimbi yitwa kula atoa babakulu. The hapless priest was not speaking on behalf of the Catholic Church. Okay, mbaba nandi waska posha nalambira pa bali kunshi aba batemwa. Good analysis at the end. Okay, good. Batemwa kufa kulasti ngaba bambi na bena na batemwa. Interesting conclusions, brother Kasons. Na tumeni umutulo father ni mutamfye nchito tumeni umutulo kuli yoba musonde and then abalanda posha awe doc not at Mambala. No, Mambala tulalanda. Mambala tulanda doesn't even mean anything. You become familiar with Bemba. Mambala is just a person off track. Or like you're lying to people, giving them an impression of what is there. You know, It's like a blind man who goes in a dark room to look for a black cat that is not there, and he announces in church that I found it. Kulabepa abantu. Niuma mbalo. Ndifo pa ntatu shinshikira. Kwe bafe shinka. Balelu shaka job ni bana benga shaka job mwevu. Tatu shinchita. If mwevu shinchita tubomba mwashenda ama tufola. Twate mwe chalo cheso. Nefe chitika. Bali abo munga fole shebo mulebe fyo. Not if. Under 5 card has graphs too. Yeah. Tukoteko mlekeni umwini ateke. Long live your church. Ngabambi balanda tshana. Abambi balanda twatotela mwalanda obusaka. Yes. Efumulela no na Zambia. Now, let's conclude the show. In this show, we dissected Father Salangeta's 52-second video, that is trending in Zambia this week. And Mapros, it is an high-impact person. And also, as a citizen, alikwatama rights ya kulanda pachalo chako na issues. Naka delivery kaiko exceptional. Vandocho wakatemenu. Kilo fyo kavera ka trending news na pa Bonano kaingia. Pa Bonano tatulanda usually pa individuals, no. Tulanda pa policy issues na groups. But akana kaya viral, so na tusumemo. And then the problems, the cons with Father Salangeta is the context. He gave an impression as if he's speaking for the church. And he gave an impression as if he's speaking to the wider audience. He was only speaking for his congregants. He gave an impression as if the Catholic Church is rising up the government. The Catholic Church is just busy serving God. They are not rising up against any government. Yes, government in the authorities, Catholic Church had got a leadership. And then the content yet was a decry, but even though he didn't speak as an expert. Therefore, that's a mockery. You're mocking the man, you know. And then, because it also affects his conjecture. The conjecture is the proposition of contrasting the importance of graphs kutusaka tuwavunga graph ile londolo efyo abantu balima notusaka tuwavunga ko tufuma aleko ndema ile explanation alefu afya akasaka kavunga shortcut hiyo akasaka kafuvunga kafuma mu bulimi elo bulimi ni agriculture, it's part of GDP na muri ine graph mu bwali kusaka tusaka tuwavunga ko tufuma nefyo tufiri ko kumoneka efyo tushupa pa myaka yonse insala nindi mino tempulirwa iyo. The conjecture was uninformed and very bad, condemning the graphs. Kulanga fe kwefat welefat twaliri okula teke chalo mu bututu efida bena yo bayishirepo ifitatu abafunya po ba PF bale teke chalo ku bomfyo bututu tabale bomfyo nsamushina calculate okuya Kongole ndamati ba propoa government bakachita kuchinja ama conditions ya bapina. They put more money in their pockets. Umuna wale weekender ma pockets ya bantu kana kusaba pela abantu ka CDF kalera matumba ya bantu kwengupanga otuntuma productions utuntoto enga chitako ne fikongole bamushira ba makongole ba jogging makongole in Kongole basha ba jogging makongole mentality ya kwa Father Salangeta twafunyisha mu buteko taire wekela point time soon chichalo takwale kabyo ukula chiteka no bututu twakola abo mfia skulu kuteka Zambia na ifwe bakweteko ne skulu nensamushi nifwe botukwete nsamushi mwana twarishishe ba yes. So our government should stay away from giving the impression that they're fighting with the Catholic Church. The government should not rise against itself. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So thank you for seeing this show, and please share it until we come back again. And for those of you, my friends who participated, please look out for every time we come. And vale mpinda apa tukalete abantu atina pabalanda ati balanda shani apa anyway we will discuss in the background if you want to chat with me, but I'm done, and thank you for seeing us on Bonano TV, trending news and analysis. When my friends are available, they will come. when they're not available. I can't say no, I will not go because my friends are not here. They could just be busy taking care of other business. Okay, so they will come. Goodbye and have a nice weekend there in the Zambia Makamaka.